Welcome to the Land Your Bets Sports Betting Live Show. Got two NBA Cup games on the slate that we're going to run through. I'm going to be going through a couple of the plays that I already have. I've also got some targets. So I want to start making clear to you guys what I'm looking at when we get into the show. I know people are still going to be trickling in and some people are going to come in late. And so they're going to ask me things that I'm already going to be looking at. That's fine. I'm going to have everything rolling on the bottom line as well with the leans that we get from the show. Start tracking those as well. But I got a bunch of people already in here, getting a little early, so I appreciate it. What's up, C-Biz? Getting in here early, cashing today. I think you're right. You want to know what your thoughts are about Looney and Kuminga today. I mean, we're going to talk about this Warriors lineup and rotation as a whole, to be honest with you. Wiggins is going to play. We don't know what the starting lineup is, and it's going to be pretty hard to determine, but I have some thoughts based on what my projections are for who will start, so we can look at who we think is going to get minutes in that one. Chris likes Looney. I'm interested to understand what the Looney look is. I know he's played well before against this team, but I'm not certain that Şengün is going to get the same amount of minutes that we are always used to for him. So Looney would be in there to guard Şengün and deal with that, but they might be going with straight power forwards like Eason, Jabari Smith. We know Eason had a big game against this team last time, so something to keep in mind. But Chris, interested if you have a little bit more, if you want to jump in the comments and let me know why you're looking at Looney, that would be good because you like him all the way up to 8 for some for the boards right there. So I feel you on that. I just want to know what you're looking at. Michael McIntosh, Furman Daniels on the RA. This is a look that we've had for him a number of times, right? The rebounds and assists for Dyson Daniels, and took the over for 4.5 boards for Kuminga, which is what I like as well. Now it's smart right before it moved to 5.5 because I was very confident that was going to go up to 5.5. The word out of Golden State, and we'll talk about this some more, is that Jonathan Kuminga is going to be a lot more involved. He's kind of been blessed by Draymond Green. I talked about this in the video last night in a way that he's going to be the starter. Draymond's willing to give up his minutes or at least his starting role at times for Jonathan Kuminga. So I think we're going to see him playing the 28 plus that we can expect now. And it looks like Daff likes him too, because I'm assuming that says Coom Bucket to represent Kuminga. Maybe that's a childhood nickname. I'm not totally sure. Maybe you can enlighten us on that, Daft. What's up, David? David is producing again for us out of the goodness of his heart today as well, because he's not supposed to be working today. And I'm really, really appreciative that he is, because it makes this shit way easier and doable, to be honest. Let's see. Marcus, what's up, man? Really feeling good about tonight because you like Capella over on the boards. We'll talk about that. Risa Shea over on the PRA. And even if JJ plays and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, got you. Also, Curry on the boards, Draymond on the dimes. All right, cool. I've got the live doc with David, so we're tracking what you guys are putting in here. We can probably get up an up next kind of look as well for you guys in just a minute. But let me pull up that live doc. Thank you. Should probably be prepared for that. I'm going to start sharing my screen in a minute. I'm not going to scream at you in a minute. I'm going to be using Props Madness. You guys probably know that if you've been in here before, but definitely want to make sure you guys are also jumping in there with your comment in the comments with your bets, and we'll go over that stuff together. And David's going to keep tracking that for us, which is super helpful. I like Amin as well. I do want to take a look at Amin Thompson, so we'll look at that. What's up, Amber? Good to see you again, and Nate. And then what else we got in here? What's up? It's Coleman and DeBugs and Evan. Let's go. We the fifth, my boy. What's up? Need injury updates? No doubt we do. If you guys see injury updates, please throw those in the comments. David's really good about checking those and then getting that info out to me so I don't miss anything. What's up, Camille? What's up, Dylan? Sick of all the small slates. Yeah, we're gonna get some love tomorrow, Dylan. Oh, you got a Nuggets jersey. That's the Jokic. I was looking at that jersey in your profile picture. Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm glad to be here with y'all and doing this every day. Like, I have a great time. We find some good bets together. Hopefully you guys are learning something. I've been spending a little bit more time talking about things. One of the topics of the day, just because I'm filibustering while we let more people in here to get those bets out, go ahead and give the video a like if you would. I'm going to be running a promo as well as people are jumping in. I'll let you know. The point that I wanted to make today was someone asked me a really good question earlier from the VIP Discord, asked me, how big should my bankroll be? I just want to make clear, your bankroll should be as big as you can afford it to be. You should not be expecting that money to come back. If you can't afford to lose the money that you're betting with, you shouldn't be betting with it. It's an investment. If you look at it as an investment, not every investment is going to make you money back. Sometimes you're going to lose money on that investment. But if you look at it as an investment, now you're looking at it in a way that you can afford to lose it. And it's something that you're trying to grow over time. And so when you lose one night, it's not that big a deal because you have a plan to make money over time. So just really want to make that clear. Like, have your bankroll set, manage your units accordingly. So if you have $1,000 as your bankroll, it should be a $10 bet, right? It should be 1%, 2%, maybe $20 bets as you make them. But keep that in mind for sure. Camille likes GSW on the money line. That's interesting. I do too. I think the people like the Rockets in like this revenge narrative, and they're gonna try harder. I don't know about all that. Nate, this is a great look because I want to talk about Buddy Hield's minutes. He might start tonight. The Dubs, the other news out of Golden State, a lot coming out, even though the news isn't what the actual starting lineup is. The news out of Golden State is Kuminga more minutes, and their offense is putrid right now without Steph on the floor, and at times with Steph on the floor if he has the wrong combination of players. Buddy Hield would be the guy that's going to come in and get a few more minutes and maybe start now because he's too important to the offense at this point. They need a Clay to the Steph, and Steph doesn't have a Clay right now, and that would be the best look for a Clay. What's up, Cody? You want to look at OG over 4.5 RA? Is that really all it is? I mean, he doesn't really assist, but even on the rebounds, that's pretty good. I like that look. We'll put that in there. What's up, Al? I almost called you Amin because you're talking about Amin. What's up, Alan? On some Amin look right here, over 6.5 boards. I do, yeah. I want to look at Amin Thompson for sure. Camille's got another look too with Draymond and 6+ assists. Kuminga over on the points, using the L word though. I don't know if I want to call anything a lock right now, especially in the way we don't know what the rotations are with that. I'm on this too, man. Like this team has just looked so much better against the Warriors without Şengün. Just is what it is. Even last season, to be honest with you, if you look at his minutes versus the Dubs, not great. So we'll take a look at that. I'm going to get the up next stuff coming. What's up, Chance? And we got David Cruz in here. We got Şengün under 20.5. David's always got looks. I'll read these in the live, Doc. David, we'll probably go over these. Why is everyone on Jalen Green? Yeah. Şengün, same. Oh, right. Everyone's on unders for the Rockets because the Dubs defense is really good. But yeah, you got to figure out which one it's going to be. What's up, James? Jacob. I just called you Jameis, dude. That was such a nice compliment. What's good, Jacob? Good to see you, bro. Let's see. Yeah. I don't think it's about being famous. I think it's just the people that actually follow me think that I look like every other generic white guy that they've seen. The comments are filled with, yo, I think I saw you walking down the street the other day. And it's like, nah, man, that was probably like Gordon Hayward or somebody. Like it wasn't me. I probably do look like Gordon Hayward. That just came off the top of my head too. Anyway, got a lot of you coming in to appreciate you. Let's see. Yeah, give that video a like if you would. Got free sauce in here. Police and things as always. Appreciate you, bro. One of the VIP cappers doing big work for sure. Yeah, appreciate it, man. No doubt. We look at things pretty analytically here, but try to keep it fun. All right, I got a lot in here. I'm gonna keep going with some of the bets so we can get into it. The bets that I have, and then we'll look at some of your stuff. As I get into stuff, do give that video a like. Also, remember right now for today, the promo I want to let you all know about. If you don't yet have an account on REBET, similar to Sleeper and all the DFS pick'em stuff, right, where you need to make a parlay to get your stuff, I would go ahead and use that. Make sure you have it so you can compare odds. If you do not yet have an account, get one. Use code LYB. That will get you a deposit match 100% up to $100. So you get a free $100 to play with if you do sign up and use code LYB. And if you do that, send me a screenshot. Once you've done that, I'll go ahead and give you a month in the VIP Discord for free as well. So if you go ahead and use promo code LYB, that'll get you a free month in the Discord. So you can hit me at JL Boogie on Discord, on Twitter. Those are the two best places to get a hold of me. DM me and send me the screenshot that you signed up with REBET using code LYB, and we'll go ahead and get you a free month in the VIP Discord, get some of these picks that we're making. Quick look at how we did yesterday, and then I promise we're getting into it. Still got people trickling in, though. Yesterday, 3-3, basically even on the day, half of a unit, or half of a tenth of a unit, right, is what we lost. So overall, not great, but not bad. And that's what we'll take because this is what I consider a quote unquote losing day. If we're not even losing a full tenth of a unit on the day, then I'm happy with it. I didn't have much on the show that wasn't on this card. So there's not much difference between what was talked about on the show yesterday and this right here. Just wanted to get this one out to you guys so you know where we're at. Still up 30.7 units. For those of y'all interested in the VIP, like I said a couple of times now, we are over halfway to our goal of 60 units on the regular season. So I'm up in that goal to 100 units, and I'm taking y'all with me. So hopefully you guys are along for the ride. Go ahead and give that video a like, and we're going to get into it. Plays that I already have on my card that I just want to run through real quick with you guys, and then we're going to get into what you guys are looking at. I mentioned I have Kuminga at 4.5 boards. I'm not positive if that's there yet, but let me start sharing my screen, and we can look at it together. All right, pulling this up. And doing this correctly, I promise. This is going to say it was yesterday. Oh, no, it is Wednesday. Look at that. We are on fire, yo. Wednesday, 12/11 for the play of props. All right, this is Props Madness. If you do not yet have an account with Props Madness, this is the GOAT for all things for the NBA and for the WNBA. So if you're looking at hoop stuff, definitely want to use this. Use code LYB if you sign up for an account with Props Madness. It's 25% off for your first month. And hit me if you have questions about this product at all, because this is, like I said, the GOAT. If quick look for all those of y'all that are going to be like following along here, and I'll get into some other sites. Everything you need linked in the description of the video. So any of the tools that you see me using here, definitely make sure you check the description of the video so you have the direct link to what I'm using here. And like I said, at JL Boogie on social media, if you want to hit me with questions about how to use this stuff or anything else, I'm available, y'all. So all right, for just this right here, what I want to tell you guys, this is going to show you all the different odds, very quickly updated every 60 seconds. This is the GOAT product for making sure that you have updated lines. They are pulling through. Pips gets more angry than most about stale lines, the dude who created this product. So he's very eager to make sure that these are not stale. Then obviously everything here is going to be filters. I'll be using some of these filters, so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But the reason that this is top 3 reason that this is the GOAT product is that you can see how they perform against teams that are similar to the team that they're playing tonight. So if I wanted to look at Jalen Brunson and go, how does he do against teams that are similar to the Atlanta Hawks on defense? I can filter it by a bunch of different categories and be like, I want to know how he does against teams that have a defensive rating as shitty as the Hawks, which is 22nd. So I can filter that to say opponent defensive rating, and I can move this to say bottom 10 or so teams, right? 20 to 30 ranked. How does he done against them? This is just to try to create the situation tonight. It's nothing really here. This doesn't really help me, but it's an example of a potential way to filter this to recreate the situation from tonight in the past, if that makes sense. The other things down here, you can look at player shot chart. That's the hardest phrase for me to say. Shot chart. And you can see where they're scoring the percentage of their points from. JB scoring 35% of his points from a three-pointer above the break. Rarely goes into the corners. Makes sense. He's the point guard. He's got the ball up top. And the opponent defense, just as easy, helpful. Where do they suck at defending? The Hawks suck everywhere. They just don't suck quite as much in the paint as they do outside of it, which is another reason why I like guys who are shooters to do well against this team. Guys like Mikal Bridges, a little bit better of a look perhaps than guys that are going down low, like OG Anunoby scoring a few more of his points. So for those of y'all going, how do I find a difference between OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges? When should I bet on these two dudes who do very similar things and play in very similar spaces on the floor? You can even just go right here, for example, and go, OG is scoring 46% of his points in the restricted area in the paint. So right next to the basket, right at the rim, right? That is where the Hawks are a little bit better on defense than they are outside of that area where they suck on the perimeter. So if he's taking more of his shots down low and Mikal Bridges is taking much more of his shots outside, right? Like, let's see, 11, 30%, 45, almost 50% of his shots are coming from 3, right? And the Hawks are a terrible 3-point defense. They allow, in terms of just attempts, they allow the most 3-point attempts on the season to their opponents. And I'm using that. I'm hovering over the next game up for the Knicks right here on the season chart for Mikal. And when I hover over the Hawks, I can see their defensive rating there, the way that they play versus what Mikal wants to do, which is the last thing here. The play type analysis, the third and really most important part, third of the most important reasons to have Props Madness. You can see right away what percentage of a player's points, how they're scoring them. So for instance, Mikal Bridges is scoring 32% of his points off of spot up shots, where he's waiting for someone to pass him the ball, basically standing still, catch, and then I don't know how to recreate Mikal, something like that. And then Mikal fires like that, right? So that would be the Mikal play type favorite, is him spotting up and getting those assists from guys like Jalen Brunson and stuff like that. So that's the other part here. If you're using this product, season shot chart, play type analysis, and then all the advanced filters. Those are the top reasons to have this product. But hit me with that. We're going to keep going on it. The stuff I just showed you is actually why I like Mikal Bridges tonight. And I was back at 16.5. If you can bet on Bet365, I love Mikal Bridges over 16.5 points for -115. So I would go ahead and look at that. I'm just on that more than the OG stuff. I know there was an OG rebounds and assists look. I think it was 4.5, but maybe you just meant boards and I missed that, right? Yeah, because it's 4.5 for the boards. He's not the best rebounder, man. He's at 5 on the season. He had 6 in this game. You want to look at rebound chances when you're looking at rebounds, right? So if I want to filter this so I can kind of more clearly see his rebound chances, all I have to do is go to advanced filters and click on rebound chances. And now I can see that the blue line here is going to represent where those are. So you can see right here, he had about 12 rebound chances. This goes back down to about 10, 9. So he's right at about probably 9 to 10 rebound chances per game. So at 9 to 10 rebound chances per game, he needs to get 5. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. I'm not saying it's not likely. What I'm saying is that the odds at minus 140 for him to get this are not worth it to me for him to do so, right? So he's playing on the season. We can just see his 7.5 on the assist as well. Got you, Cody. Just finish that point up then. I don't love taking over for him on either of those props, to be honest with you. This is, if we look at the RA itself, 7.5. So he's gone over 50% of the time. I know he had a good game against the Hawks last time, but he had 5 potential assists and 3 assists, which is a decent percentage. But I don't know, man. Like that's a little bit scary to me. I don't have like a matchup analysis. I don't have anything telling me that I should go over on OG on the rebounds and assists, to be honest. So I don't know that that's a look that I'm going to have for OG. In fact, I don't really want to bet on him tonight at all. That's just kind of like where I'm at. Wait, will you put that back up? Thank you. Thank you, David. And thank you for pointing this out from Joshua Da Silva. Talk to me, man. Throw your hotel key at the stage. We'll see what we can get. But we'll get there. I promise I'm gonna look at these live ones. My ADD is gonna be wrangled. I promise. Let's keep it to the Knicks game for now. So if you are looking at the Knicks game, we'll be looking at that one first, just because it comes up first too. So let me look. All right, let's start with Brunson. I had a couple of looks here, just so you guys know too. This is what I'm putting this together. I'm trying to be a little bit more clear. This is the live show targets. This is what I'm coming in and what I'm looking at. So Amber is asking about Brunson. So let's just go ahead and get right into JB, the best point guard in the history of the New York Knicks. I will fight anybody who wants to talk about that. Mostly because anybody who's going to argue with me is going to say Walt Frazier, and they're probably like 60 or 70. So I could probably beat their ass. So if anybody wants to argue about it, let me know. But JB is the best player in NBA in Knicks history, as far as I am concerned, and my 37 years on this planet. All right. So for this game specifically, starting with JB. All right, so here's the thing about JB. We're still remembering Jalen Brunson as last year's Jalen Brunson. Let me pull this back up. Apologies. Get back to my screen share. It only took me like 2 seconds to realize I wasn't screen sharing that time. How about a little bit of acknowledgement for that? JB at 26.5. This got bet down from 27 at one point because people were going crazy. Like, I understand that this is the matchup for him. If you look at all the ways that he scores, this should be a good matchup for him. Pick and roll ball handler is 33% of his points. And he's looking at, and this is the dead last defense, 30th in the league for the Hawks, limiting points to the pick and roll ball handler. And that's what he's doing, nearly 10 points a game. And I get that. The thing is, Dyson Daniels is really good. And here's the problem with using certain platforms that I know a lot of people like to use. And they like to be like, well, how does this team defend point guards? How does this team defend shooting guards? And I get that. But what the hell is a point guard? What is a shooting guard? Is Luka a point guard? Or is Kyrie a point guard? Or is Kyrie a shooting guard? Like, what are we talking about here? Those dudes are just them, right? We need more things like archetype, not necessarily their position. So my main reason for saying that is if you look at the Hawks, they actually give up a ton of points to the point guard, like 6th most or whatever, right? They are a little bit better against the assists. But my point here is that Dyson Daniels is their main defender. And Dyson Daniels is an incredibly good defender. And that is a big reason why Jalen Brunson went under on his points in this game and was 8 for 18 from the field overall, hit 4 threes, which was nice. But he had a lockdown defender on him. The better question is not how does a team defend point guards? The better question is how does a team defend the primary ball handler for a team, for the opposition? And that's stuff you can really only get on behind paywalls, like cleaning the glass, for instance. But I just want to throw caution to the wind here when people are like, well, they suck against point guards, so Jalen Brunson's going to do really well. But Dyson Daniels is on him. And you can see if you go into the box score from the last game and you look at the matchup, when was this game at? Real quick. This game was on November the 6th. So if you do look at that game real quick and you just go into the box score, I'm just on NBA.com. I want to go to matchups in the actual box score. So let me go back to November 6th and pull up the day that these two teams met on the battlefield of, was it of State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. And if I'm in the box score, I can go from traditional stats and look at matchups so that I can see who is actually guarding whom. Correct way to to say whom. Sorry. So offensive player, I'm looking at Jalen Brunson, right? And so right here, you can see JB is on offense. Now I'm going to filter this to the most minutes. Dyson Daniels was on him for 10 minutes in that game when he was out there, primary ball handler. That's another thing about Dyson Daniels. If you want to take props for him tonight, I think his minutes are going to stay high because they're going to mirror Jalen Brunson. He's going to be the primary defender. Another reason to make sure you know who is guarding whom is because if Dyson Daniels is guarding Jalen Brunson, we know he's going to be out there for hella minutes. Same concept for guys like last year, Derek Jones Jr. on the Mavs. We knew he was going to be out there hella because he's guarding Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So that's where we're at. 7 points for Brunson in 10 minutes is below his average for minutes when he's on offense. Like this is really good defense against Jalen Brunson. Limited him to 3 for 8 shooting and 0 for 4 from 3. So Brunson was doing everything he could to screen Dyson Daniels off him so that he could get more open because he knows that unless he gets Dyson Daniels off his ass, he's probably not going to be able to score very much. So that's a reason why I'm not just like, yeah, let me get the points for the point guard playing the Hawks right now, because I know Dyson Daniels is going to be his matchup. So in knowing that, I kind of like the dimes a bit more. The other reason I like the dimes for JB, and I doubt that I'm going to end up having a bet on him, which is going to piss some people off. But the reason I would be taking the assists, and this hasn't moved. This has been the exact same number since it opened. Another thing I don't like about it. But the reason I would be liking the assists is if I look at the last game, he had 13 potential assists and only 4 assists, which is crazy. If you have 13 potentials, you should be at least 6, probably 7. It's not unreasonable to think he should be at 8 assists if he gets 13 potential assists. So if he's going to be back up to 13, and by the way, he's had a few more than that in recent games, like the Raptors, he had 18, the Pistons, 23. This was a blowout, so I don't care. This was also a game they didn't really need him. He only played 27 minutes against the Magic. But if he plays his normal minutes, he's at hella potential assists. And 13 is actually probably a conservative prediction for how many potential assists Jalen Brunson's going to have. The other thing that's crazy is if you're in this box score right here and you look at how the Knicks shot that game, it makes it even more insane that Jalen Brunson only had 4 dimes. He had 13 potential dimes, which we remember from yesterday. Dimes is assists. If he had, my point is they shot 49% from the field, which is good. And they shot 47% from 3, which is unheard of. And it's very good, right? You don't do that for a whole season, for instance. And yet somehow Jalen Brunson, despite his team shooting so well around him, couldn't get 8 assists in that game. I'm not buying it. So I like the assists a lot in this game. The points are a bit high for me because I still think we remember Jalen Brunson as last year's Jalen Brunson, where he needed to do everything himself, right? He didn't even have, much less Karl Towns. He barely had OG Anunoby. He didn't have Mikal Bridges. And we all see how good Dante DiVincenzo is out in Minnesota. So the fact that they made fucking lemonade with that lemon tells you something about JB. So yeah, I think he's going to be passing a bit more all season. 26.5. I think he's going to finish the season at about 25 points per game because you also got Cat. The thing I'm looking at for Cat. So Brunson is unfortunately going to be somewhat of a pass for me. I'm not betting on him either way. But that was what I was looking at. And I'm actually trying to tell you guys to just chill before you're like, yo, Brunson for 35, fuck Trae Young. I agree. We outside, fuck Trae Young, but like relax with the Jalen Brunson bets. The other thing here, I wouldn't get into Karl Towns. Also want to remind y'all, please give that video a like if you're in here. We're getting up there in the numbers, so I appreciate y'all jumping in, but also appreciate a like, goes a long way. If you do want to jump in the VIP Discord, the way to do that is sign up for REBET using code LYB, and then you'll go ahead and DM me, right, a screenshot of you signing up for REBET. It does you nothing, no harm, right? It's just having another book so that you can make sure you're able to compare odds between books. This is another place that you can get soft lines, get good odds, that kind of stuff. So another place to compare and shop lines. If you don't know what shopping lines is, hit me up. We can go over that directly. All right. Always be selling. All right, moving into the Cat stuff. So for Cat, like I was trying to get there with his rebounds. It's so dumb high now. And let me pull that back up real quick, David. I'm going to pull up the up next stuff. I want to see if there's anything I'm missing that people really wanted to talk about. All right, I'll just talk about Cat, then I'll get into DD and Researche as well. The La France, Viva La France. And if there's any news on, okay, God damn it. Thank you, David, for putting this up. So Josh Hart's going to be a game time decision. I don't think he's really going to affect Cat. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to have a bet on Cat with his stuff so high. I know he dominated last game, but these numbers are still super high for him. His averages on the season are 25. and about 13. His rebounds got up to, okay, so it's hovering between 12.5, 13.5. I do think he's good for 12 boards in this game. I'm just not guaranteeing 13 in any way that makes me feel comfortable. So that's kind of where I'm at with Cat. But I want to get to what you guys want to talk about. And the Josh Hart thing real quick, because I don't know if we're going to get Josh Hart news while we're on the show here. But if we do and he's out, the guys that I'm looking at, if Josh Hart does not play, basically this one, Miles McBride, 10.5 points. He's going to, I mean, if Josh Hart doesn't play, we might see Miles McBride play like 40 minutes, like 38 to 40 minutes. Honestly, he's going to be in there for the offense that Josh Hart brings just as much as anything, to be ability to swing it, the ability to get out into transition, which Miles is very good on as well, scoring about 17% of his points off a transition. That's really good against this team if you can get out and run, and you can get to the rim and spot up. So I think he's going to do really well in this game anyway. And if we see Josh Hart out, Miles McBride points is the look. So make sure that y'all are sort of taking note of that if you get that information. Yeah, I mean, shit. Yeah, let's get some ladders going. Buki Mane, I love that name, Buki Mane. Yeah, let's see some McBride threes for sure. I don't think, I mean, it's also Josh Hart, by the way. Like, have you ever seen Josh Hart sit out? I don't think I have. Yeah, he's played every game this season. He's a freaking football player, dude. He's got a football player mentality. Football players should be playing more basketball, bro. Like, if you're a football player, you're probably way mentally tougher than a basketball player. All right, so Cat, no. Dyson Daniels on the RA. So what did he do last game against this team? And for the record, shout out Buddy Irons. I know he can't usually make it. He had a good look with Dyson Daniels. He likes him on the RA. Buddy is a VIP capper in the free part of the Discord. So if you do jump into the Discord, you can get his plays in there, as well as a few others like Free Sauce and Legacy King. We got Mike, we got Jew Boogie in there as well. So we got a lot of good ones in there. The RA for him on the season, 8.3. We were getting a good number on this. There was a time like right around here before he started going crazy in November where this was like 6.5. And I just want to show you guys this one tool too. This is linked in the description of the video. This is Betting Pros, and this shows you what was the recent line for this dude, which is important because the books are moving shit. So let me show you what I mean. Who was I just talking about? I was talking about Dyson Daniels. He's Australian, yeah. So if I'm on Betting Pros, and like I said, this is linked in the description of the video, so you don't have to go searching for it. You can just search for him. And now I've got Dyson Daniels. If I go down to the box, the player game log, it's showing me his game log compared to what his line actually was. Why this is important. The books aren't just making the same line every time and being like, here's your line, and this is just going to be what it is from now on for Dyson Daniels. They change it every time. Now I'm looking at his points right now, but you can see the prop line fluctuating based on who they're playing, and this is the closing line. But why that's important is because I need to know if I'm paying a premium for this, right? It's 7.5, and I'm currently on points, so that's my bad. Let me go to rebounds and assists over here and see what that number has been looking like. How have the books been posting this number for us? So you can see 8.5 against the Nuggets, because that was a good. I mean, the Nuggets are so bad on defense; it's ridiculous right now. I don't know what they're expecting to do this season. They are terrible on defense. But like I was saying, you can see that like 6.5 was a line earlier in November. I guess not actually. It's always been 7.5. It got pretty high at times too. So 7.5 is right what he's hovering around. He's averaging 8 on the season. We're not necessarily paying a premium for this. I thought we might be actually. Or we're not getting a great line on this either. To be honest, 7.5 is what it's been hovering around over the last like 7-8 games. The thing about the RA for him, so he got against the Knicks, he got 7. He had 7 rebound chances and 8 potential assists. One of the reasons I don't like that for him in this game necessarily is when he's out there guarding someone like that, like Jalen Brunson, the rebounds are a little bit harder to get if Brunson's taking a lot of the shots. So that's something to consider, is like the guy who's defending the guy taking the shots on the other team. Another reason that it's really important to be able to go into a box score on NBA.com, look at the matchup, and find out who a guy is guarding. So if I choose defensive player, I know I just showed you this, but if I choose defensive player, I can see Dyson Daniels is the primary defender on Jalen Brunson the last time out. And it's the same for both times that these teams have played, or actually they've only played once this season. So it's for the one game they played, Dyson Daniels is just a mirror, right? He's just a blanket on Jalen Brunson. That does mean that it kind of limits his ability to get into position to rebound and stuff like that. The assists, not really going to be as involved. Now, if Jalen Johnson's not in, this actually becomes a lot better of a play. I should also make that clear. I think Jalen Johnson's going to play, but I also don't think he's going to be able to shoot very much. So this affects the Dyson Daniels play, and I want to let you know about this. The last time that we saw Jalen Johnson play, was against the Lakers. Then he missed the game against the Nuggets. He played 35 minutes against the Lakers, but in that game, he hurt his right shoulder. That's why he's still listed as questionable, unless that news changed. And I'm just going to go to Twitter to pull up my noties and see if Underdog NBA gave us an update on this. They haven't updated us on anything in a while. So we don't yet have anything on Jalen Johnson. But if you look at what the actual injury is, it's right shoulder soreness. Say that 5 times fast. Right shoulder soreness for Jalen Johnson. That means he can't shoot. And that happened in the Lakers game. And I know that because I bet him to get 18.5 points. He got 7 points in the first quarter, and then he hurt his shoulder, and he took almost no shots the rest of the game. Thank you, David, for letting me know about that. God, dude, another round of applause for David. A great producer, just kind of like knows what you need before you even know you need it, and dude's just staying on top of it. So grateful, man. All right. The stuff with Dyson Daniels, I'm in such an emotional, happy mood tonight. Maybe it's because we won the chip last night in the rec league. Your boy dropped 15-6, but yeah. So Jalen Johnson, the Lakers. I knew I was going to get that in on the show too. It's 15-6 in the chip. A couple steals as well. I'm a dog on defense. Call me TJ McConnell. All right. Jalen Johnson, right shoulder, can't shoot. If he can't shoot, other guys are going to have to shoot. If he can't shoot, but he's playing, then he's going to get more assists, right? So if you look at the assists for him, 7 in the last game on 9 potential assists. That is a little bit more what I'm looking at with Jalen Johnson if he plays, because if he plays, he's not going to be able to shoot as well, right? So that would eat into Dyson Daniels' assists if Jalen Johnson's looking to be more of a playmaker. You also look at Dyson Daniels in the game against the Nuggies, and what did he have for rebounds and assists in that one? He had 10 rebounds and assists against a bad Nuggets team. They lost by 30, and he still played 34 minutes, but he had 12 potential assists in that game. So if we look at him, this is the other thing I'll show you real quick. This is important. This is Fantasy Labs. We've done this a couple times now. Rather than just knowing, because what I was going to show you real quick was what has Dyson Daniels done this season without Jalen Johnson? Let's take a quick look. In 2 games without JJ, 10 and 12 rebounds and assists. He had 15 rebound chances against the Kings and 7 potential assists. And then without him against the Nuggets, he had 12 potential assists. The potential assists are way higher without him than with him. And we can see that when the point of this right here, Fantasy Labs, is instead of just being able to say, well, what happens with Dyson Daniels when Jalen Johnson doesn't play in the game? Let's see what happens with Dyson Daniels when he plays with Jalen Johnson on the floor. And if we're doing that, the link description in the video as well, link to the Fantasy Lab stuff. If we go, I'm going to see what what Dyson Daniels does when he plays with Jalen Johnson. So let's put Dyson Daniels on the floor. You can see right here, I'm Atlanta Hawks on court. So the guys I'm putting on court for him are Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Trae Young. Those are really the only guys I care about. Let's see. Yeah, appreciate that, David. No worries though. Like if we need to go a little bit long today, I'm good with it. I got the energy. I know you're gonna have to dip. That's gonna suck, but it's all good. But appreciate the update. The stuff for on court. So we've got Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Trae Young. These are the dudes I want to know when they're on the floor together. What does Dyson Daniels be doing? I'm gonna make this standard instead of advanced, and this is gonna be per 36. So let me show you this. So for Dyson Daniels, he's played 421 minutes this season with this combination of players, Jalen Johnson and Trae Young alongside him. In those minutes, he's at 3 assists. He's at 3 assists per 36 minutes, right? So 3 assists per 36, and he's not even playing with this lineup for 36 minutes, but it's the lineup he's playing with the majority of the game. This is very helpful, right? He's actually a little bit more likely to score when he's out there with Jalen Johnson and Trae Young than he is to assist or rebound. So this comes right about to 8. This comes right at 8. So this is still telling me like 8 is a good number for him to hit, but it's right on the line. And this number is minus 130. If this was like minus 110, minus 105, maybe, but really we're saying this is basically a 50-50 bet. And the matchup and the fact that Jalen Johnson's not a guaranteed out yet, I think he's going to be a lot more likely to pass. What I like as a result of that is the guy who is basically the Jalen Johnson replacement in a way, DeAndre Hunter. I like him to score in this game, and I like the 17.5, and I gave this out in the VIP last night because I like that number at 17.5. The reason I took it and was just like, let's get it, is because if Jalen Johnson is ruled in, maybe this goes down. That's the risk you take. If Jalen Johnson is ruled out, this is going to go up. And I think he can get 17.5 with Jalen Johnson or without him, because I just told you about Jalen Johnson's right shoulder. It's hard to shoot when your right shoulder and your shooting shoulder is the one that you can't really use, right? So DeAndre Hunter on the over on the points is a bet I feel comfortable with. And the last one I want to make sure I give you before we do move on to the other game is Clint Capella under on the rebounds. I like this number. It was 9.5. It looks like you can only get that now in some books, but you can still get it, not on any real books. So yeah, 9.5 is like minus 150, but I don't think Clint Capella is getting 10 boards in this game. A couple of reasons that I gave out in the video last night. Yeah, that's exactly right, Charlie. That's what we're talking about with JJ. But I don't know that impacts Clint Capella on the rebounds, because he's going to be out there to guard Cat, right? So that we saw last time, he had 6 rebounds, 12 rebound chances, and he played 28 minutes. And that's important because he does not often play 28 minutes. In fact, if we filter his minutes to 28 or more this season, he's only done that 4 times. Right. So he's played 28 minutes 4 times this year. And in those 4 games, he's only gone under his rebounds once. And it was against the Knicks. And the reason is the Knicks give up the fewest rebounds to centers. And the reasons that the Knicks give up the fewest rebounds to centers is 1, Karl-Anthony Towns is 2nd in the league in rebounding per game. And 2, he's also shooting from a distance on offense and hanging out around the perimeter on offense is where Cat usually hangs out and plays, right? So that's why centers do so poorly against him. And I think that's a reasonable thing to take away from FanDuel's Fantasy Pros. I think this is legit, that centers and rebounds don't go well when you're playing the Knicks. So that's why it's not just the fact that Cat and this is a good rebounding team for the Knicks, who I believe limit assists or rebounds overall to the tune of number 1 in the NBA. So keep all that in mind. One more reminder, go ahead and give that video a like, much appreciated. And also want to let you know, if you do want to jump into the VIP Discord to get all the plays that we're making here at the number that we're playing them right when we get them, all that good stuff, go ahead and sign up for REBET if you do not yet have an account. It is just another book to make sure that you have all of the books and can shop your lines. So go ahead and sign up for that. Deposit like $10 or up to 100, and you'll get 100% of that matched. So you deposit $100 on your initial deposit, they will automatically add $100 more to your account if you use code LYB. So do that. Sign up for REBET. Use the code. Send me a screenshot of you signing up. DM me at JLBoogie. At JLBoogie on Discord and Twitter is the best way to get a hold of me. DM me a screenshot of you signing up, and we'll get you a free month in the VIP Discord, so you know what you're getting. It is the units 30.7 on the season, but it's also plenty of sports betting help. So any kind of consultation or anything, I've been doing one-on-ones with a couple people who are taking advantage of that, and hopefully that's helping them get better at the sports bettings. All right, so I am looking at the next game now. I'm going to move on. Those are the plays that I had from this one. Mostly the plays that I had for sure. DeAndre Hunter on the over points. Clint Capella on the under rebounds. Those are my 2 favorite. Mikal Bridges over 16.5. If you can get it on Bet365, do take that. I'm not really playing 17.5. I told people at minus 105 to minus 110, you can take 17.5 on the over for him. But if you are at that point, I might just take the 3s over 2.5, and you can still get plus 110 on Bet365 for him to hit 3 threes. This is the worst 3-point defense in the league for the Hawks, or at least like bottom 3. And they are also going to be bad against the catch and shoot, which is what we know Mikal Bridges does the most, is catch and shoot. So I like him and those 3 bets from this game. And I'm heeding caution about Jalen Brunson over points, but I prefer his assists. No Şengün news yet. So that is big for this Rockets and Warriors game. They have played twice this season, so you should at least be looking at what happened in those 2 games. Maybe it's not the end-all, be-all, but you should be looking at that to know what happened in those 2 games. So in those 2 games, and here's what we're looking at with the Dubs, and more than even the Rockets, because we don't even know who the freak is going to start for this team for the Dubs. I'm cautious to suggest that anybody take Looney in this game. I do think he's going to get some minutes, but I don't know how many. So in this first game, he played 21. There was no Steph. In the second one, he played 27. There was no Draymond. So keep that in mind. There was no Draymond in this last game when Looney had 27 minutes and 21 rebound chances, and as a result, 11 rebounds. And yes, if people are asking for Free Sauce's plays, they are all in the Discord, in the free Discord as well. We have the VIP guest cappers in there. So definitely want to check out Free Sauce, Buddy, got Hannah Not Hannah, Jew Boogie, Legacy King. We got a lot of good looks in there. So jump in there if y'all are interested. Yeah, what do you mean by that real quick? Montana, you saying RotoWire shows you minutes, like projected minutes, right? I don't trust those, though. If you're talking about RotoWire minutes real quick as projections, I am very weary of trusting them. They are good at keeping you abreast of injury news. I don't know that they're very good at projected minutes. So, and part of the thing here is like, oh, I'm actually not signed in. So this is behind a paywall, and you do need to log in. Is this going to give you all my? All right, now I'm have people trying to hack my shit, whatever. But if you do use, this is behind a paywall, like I said, and this is projected minutes for them. I hear you on that. I don't trust them as much, so I'd be careful just like looking at those and following them. But and then Daff talking about Coon Bucket again, best nickname in the NBA, a nickname given to Jonathan Kuminga by Warriors fans. Urban Dictionary. You're quoting the Urban Dictionary at me right now. Love it. Love it. Yeah, I cannot believe Warriors fans. I feel like this was written in Urban Dictionary by a Kings fan or somebody to that effect. Maybe a Lakers fan, LeBron fan, whatever. But there's no way that Warriors fans are calling this man Coon Bucket or whatever the other pronunciation of it would be. No doubt as well to you, Montana. Yeah, I'd be careful on those, but ETR probably a little bit more trustworthy with the projections on the minutes. So for Looney, he could start. I don't know. Here's what I'm waiting for. Before we bet on Looney, before we bet on Draymond or Buddy Hield, just yet, what I'm looking at is who the hell is starting for this Dubs team. I believe strongly that Jonathan Kuminga is in line for minutes. I know that because if you Google Jonathan Kuminga right now, a lot of the stories that you're going to get on the news are going to be Jonathan Kuminga is going to be, Steve Kerr says Jonathan Kuminga is going to be in the lineup. Steve Kerr says Jonathan Kuminga is going to get more minutes per game, right? And when he plays with 28 plus minutes, which is what I now think is close to around his average / even his floor of 28 minutes for Kuminga, when he does that this season, he's only done it in 8 games. In those 8 games, he's gone over his points in 5 games, his rebounds in 5 games, and that's all I care about. I'm not taking threes for this man. I'm not taking assists, although he has made at least 1 3, but I'm not taking that for minus 155. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm not taking that for minus 240 for Kuminga to hit threes. I don't care about that. Plus, the Rockets are good against the spot up, I believe. Yeah, they're second best against the spot up. So guys who are waiting to shoot off the spot up, or really real quick, the difference between spot up and catch and shoot. Spot up means you are literally standing still and you are waiting for the ball, and from a set position, you catch it and shoot it. Catch and shoot can be a spot up. That's also considered a catch and shoot, but the catch and shoot can also be, I catch the ball while I'm running around a screen. I take one dribble to the left and shoot, or I catch the ball coming around a screen, and while I'm fading, I'm shooting. So that's the catch and shoot is a little different from the spot up, but every spot up is considered a catch and shoot. I hope that makes sense. Those are the differences between the two of them. I looked that up at the beginning of the season because I was like, I keep saying catch and shoot and spot up, and I'm like, what's the difference? That's the difference. For anybody who's trying to do the spot up, even catch and shoot stuff, not going to have as much success against them. So I'm not taking threes for him. Points I can see. I know he's gone off, but the thing is, I want to look at the lineups once again. So if we look at Kuminga, here's my projected starters. I think it's going to be Kuminga, Draymond, Wiggins, Buddy, and Steph. I do think that's going to be it. I think B-Pod is going to get the boot in a way. Like, I think his minutes are going to drop a bunch. If you look at him in the last game that they played with Wiggins, he played 25 minutes in that game. They lost by 17 to the Wolves. Then he played 20 minutes in the next game, and that was without Wiggins. So I think B-Pods is actually out, is sort of on the outside looking in right now. Kuminga is going to be in there. So if that's the starting lineup, let's just see real quick, how does Kuminga perform? And I like the rebounds more than anything. I've said that for him. Over 4.5 boards for Kuminga is a bet in there for me if you can still get it. I think it might be 5.5 now. So apologies if you can't get to that. But if I'm looking at this is to show me how players play on the court together. One more reminder, because we do have a big surge of people coming in. Give that video a like if you are in there on YouTube or what have you. Also, Twitter would appreciate a like on that if you're getting anything out of it. I'm not putting it anywhere else in this. Oh, Facebook too. If you're on there, appreciate you all. Like, probably like my grandma who's on there. Actually, I don't, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Kuminga and Wiggins and Draymond and Steph. I want to know about that lineup right now. I think those 4 guys are going to play together a lot in this game, and they have played 84 minutes together on the floor this season. In those minutes, that's 4 of them. We've got Kuminga at 19 points a game, and we've got him at 5.5 rebounds per game. So that's why I liked him a lot more at 4.5 than I do at 5.5, is because when he plays with this particular group of folks, then he is in there doing his thing. But yeah, no doubt. No doubt, David. But yeah, the Wiggins stuff too, not really looking to bet on him in this matchup quite as much. I do think Wiggins is going to be out there a lot. What are his rebounds at, actually? Let me stand by for a second. If there is no Looney in the lineup and Wiggs is out there, 4.5. I think that's actually a pretty good number for the way that he plays. If he's going to basically be like the 4 or 5, he's actually probably a better rebounder than Kuminga. But all right, let me get focused. So I can't give you a bet until we know what the starting lineup is for the Warriors. So keep an eye on that, because as soon as that comes out, it's going to tell us a bit about who they're going to be playing a few more minutes. Either way, what's Buddy at? 12.5? He might be a good look. The problem is he's played both these games without Steph, and him playing without Steph is a big deal because it changes a lot for Buddy. So I'm not totally sure what to do with him just yet, to be honest. Let me get to some of the stuff that you guys are looking at. And Dave, when you get a chance, actually, I'm just going to do it real quick. Never mind. I'm sorry. Let's see. Take this. I want to get rid of some of this stuff here. Let's look at Amin and some of these. By the way, I forgot to get to Risa Shea. I should say I am staying away from Risa Shea. If Jalen Johnson is out, which I don't think he is, then maybe you look at some Risa Shea stuff. But the reason that Risa Shea went crazy last game is there was no Bogey and there was no DeAndre Hunter. And now DeAndre Hunter is in there and he is firmly going to be taking Risa Shea stuff. Like, there's not going to be much Risa Shea in this game. Oh, and there we go. God damn it. I was really hoping he wasn't going to play. We knew that. Yeah, he should be good. And that's what I expected. Thank you for the updates, David. Yeah, Trae Young and his ball cap, homie's gonna be playing. Ice Trae, yo, fuck Trae Young. Jalen is in. Yeah, appreciate the look as well. Scott, we got people staying on top of it. Much appreciated. All right, that's fine. We kind of knew that was gonna be the case for that Hawks game. That's great to know. Let's keep going on this one though. So I don't like Jalen Green. A lot of people don't like Jalen Green. I get that. I haven't had the balls to bet this. If this was like 22.5, I'd be going under. 19.5 is just a stay away. It's not a good matchup for him. I mean, there's a reason that he did so poorly in these two games versus the Dubs this season. If you just filter this to head, you can see he's done shit, right? And he's taking 13 shots and 16 shots. And I don't like him to get 20 points because he's not a very efficient scorer. The reason that he gets locked up is they have really good defenders for him, which is if you can leave that up for a minute too, David. I'll get to that in just one sec. I'll get right back to Buddy in 1 second then if you want to talk. I'm not taking anything just yet for Buddy, by the way, Amber. I need to see if he's in the starting lineup. That's what I'm trying to say. If Buddy is in the starting lineup, then I'm a lot more likely to take his over on the points. Thing is, if I wanted to try to be clever about this, what I'd be doing with Buddy is hitting it now and saying he's going to play well, he's going to get his points, and this is going to go up to 13 or 14.5 if he's declared in the starting lineup. So if I want to try to get ahead of that, you know what I mean? Like kind of like get ahead of like a stock movement, this is going to move. So if I want to get ahead of that movement, then I do that. But that's speculation that he's starting. And I don't know for sure that he's starting. So I don't have anything just yet for Buddy. But the 12.5 points, if he's starting, is a great bet. Once you get up to 14.5, you start to lose me for Buddy Hield. Just keep that in mind. What you got to say, Dad? The Warriors running Steph and Buddy more minutes together worries me. Taking the unders on this Rockets backcourt. Yeah, that's a good point. Buddy's not a total sieve on defense, but that's a really good point there. And yeah, David, I'll look at that in 1 sec. So for Buddy, let's just wait to see if Buddy's starting. If he is, I like it. If not, then 12.5, still probably fair, but it's a bit more of a 50-50 bet at that point. Some of this stuff for Buddy is a little bit misleading because he's fluctuates a little bit based on whether or not Steph is in. All this big green right here is a lot of that is Steph not in there. So keep that in mind. But the next one we had Buddy. I know I want to talk about Amin. I was talking about Jalen Green. I'm going to get off of that. I'm just saying I'm not taking it over on him, but I'm also I'm not fading him at the 19.5 points. The thing about the Rockets, y'all, is that they don't pass to each other. They have the fewest, like the third fewest assists per game in the league. So it's weird because they're all basically pick and roll ball handlers. Yet at least like Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet are both the same dude. And then the spot up guys are either Tari Eason or Jabari Smith. And David was the one who brought up a second ago. I'm interested to know what you think about Jabari or Tari. And bro, like this sucks. I hate having to figure that out because they do damn near the same thing. I kind of want to say why not both? Because if I were Ime, I think that the Rockets look a lot. Ime Udoka, head coach of the Rockets. If I was Udoka, I would be the one. I would start. I wouldn't even be playing Alpi Şengün 25 minutes. I think they're better with the massive amount of power forwards that they have. They could start Jabari, Tari, and Amin. It's too bad Amin's name doesn't have an Ari at the end of it. Aminari. They could start the Aris if they wanted to and play all three of those dudes together. And that's what I would do. And that's why I kind of like the low numbers that we have for a guy like Amin Thompson. So the question, David, isn't actually just Jabari or Tari. It's throw Amin in the mix as well. And we can see he's done some pretty good things over the course of his last bunch of games, including one against the Dubs not that long ago. He played just 22 minutes, but he had 14 points and he took 13 shots. And then in the other game, he actually ended up playing a ton in the second half, got his minutes up to 34 because of how good he looked against this team. It's the other reason I don't like betting on the Rockets. It's not that different from the Heat. I don't know how to gauge Ime Udoka's rotations because Ime Udoka is the type of coach that, like a high school basketball coach, will be like, Amin Thompson does something dumb. And he's like, get him out of the game. Just get him out of there. And it's like, dog, this is an NBA player. Like, give him a chance to make a mistake. He's going to make up for it. This isn't your high school backup point guard who's a fucking idiot. So I that's annoying about picking Rockets overs. I like Amin because his number's the lowest, and I think he's going to get up to about 25 minutes. Ime likes, damn, that was really good. I missed the opportunity, David. Put that back up. Don't be so sheepish. Say the joke and own it. I love it. All right. So for Amin, if you don't know the Ime Udoka story, maybe look that up. Not that far off from Josh Giddey. Amin Thompson, 11.5 points, maybe on the boards as well. 6.5. You're getting a little bit crazy. This is a good team to get rebounds against, though. And he did board up last time against them. What's the PR for him? I think this is the play for Amin in this game. If you project him for minutes, let me look at ETR. If you guys are not familiar with Establish the Run, it's not the end all be all, but they do great work. And I believe it was, I forgot who was talking about the RotoWire stuff real quick. Damn, I just something with an M, wasn't it? I had it. I'm looking for it real quick. Anyway, my man who was talking, Montana, I knew it was with an M. Montana was talking about RotoWire. If you're still here, my G, this is behind a paywall as well. This is Establish the Run. So I think once they realize that I'm showing you guys this on a free live show, they're going to get mad at me. Maybe less mad than if I was making you pay for the live show. But if you do pay for this, a decently hefty sum to get their projections, the minutes are what I trust for them as much, if not more than anything. I like to know what they project someone's minutes to be. There's a dude, Mike Dinklage. I forgot Mike's last name. Mike is a psychopath and knows about everybody's injury, everybody's rotation, everything. That's what this is heavily based on. He and I already forgot the other dude's name, Mike Gallagher and something else. Anyway, Drew, there we go. So the minutes is what I care about. If I'm looking at Amin, let's see what they have for minutes. 27.5. They have his boards at 7 and his points at 11.7. But the 27.5 is what I care about. What I want to know is, what are his rebounds like if he plays 27 plus minutes this season? Well, he's over in every single one. Let's make it more realistic and say he's going to play a max. He played 34 one game. Let's say it's a max of 34. He's still done that 5 out of 5 times, averaging 9 boards per game in that time frame. And on the season, he's at 7. And this is juiced all the way. Actually, we got some disparity here. We got minus 105 to the over on Bet365. That might be a good look. If you put him at 27 minutes, I think that's a really good look. One of those games was against the Dubs. He played the 34 with 18 rebound chances. I think this is a decent look for him. It's just also about Alpi. Like, is Alpi Şengün going to be there in the second game versus this team? He did play a few more minutes, 29 though, and 21. And like I said, we saw him give way. I can't guarantee that that Ime is going to do that in this one. And I do think Şengün's going to play. So that makes me a bit nervous. But if you think Amin's getting 27 minutes, this is a great look, honestly, on the boards as much as anything. The points for him, if he plays 27 minutes, let's see. What's he do points-wise? Still really good. Averages 16 per game in that situation. I think the PR you might as well just take together, honestly. Let's make this 34. So if we take the PR in this situation with 27 to 34 minutes, we're talking about 23 a game for him. I'm really starting to talk myself into this Amin Thompson one. Oh, yeah, this is what I like. I like that we can get 17.5. Whew. Sheesh. Okay. Giving me the vapors. Quite. What do we say, Dev? This I'm pretty aroused right now. This is exactly right. This is exactly right. This is the milkshake that be bringing everybody to the yard. What a fucking song, bro. There was a song that came out that was about a woman bringing all the boys in the yard out with her milkshake. Whew. Khalees, God bless you, and those milkshakes. I believe Nas was married to Khalees, wasn't she? Yeah, that was what a match made. All right, so yeah, Amin's the play. I'm going over PR. I'm taking over 17.5 for him on Bet365. I think this is playable at 18.5. I can't believe they're giving you minus 120 for 18.5 right here on DraftKings. That is massive line disparity. Go ahead and hit that. Over 17.5 points on Bet365 is sexual. I love that. Love that. Stand by. I'm putting this down. Got to feed the VIP as well and get my partner in this. All right. All right. Now the question too is like, what do you think about Eason and is that really wonderful? Minus 115 bet 3. So can you please get this in 365? All right. Okay. So I love Amin in this one. That's a bet. Putting that in there. That should be on the bottom line. It's not right now, but yeah. So for Amin, what I've got here, great question. Amber is, and this is always what you should be asking. And if you are, by the way, if any of y'all are in someone else's like VIP or you're like buying picks from somebody, I'm not telling anybody to not buy picks. You should, but if you're buying picks from somebody, bros and sisses, this is what they need to be doing. They need to be giving you a reason for why they're making the bet they made, and they need to give you a number to which this is playable to. So Amber's asking the correct question. What number should we take Amin at? And if you're buying picks from somebody and they are not telling you the number to play it to, so I would play Amin Thompson at 17.5, wherever you can get it. It's only available in a good way. Damn, once you get to minus 150, you start to look at it a little bit differently. Let me just close out with this. The other thing here for... well, I'm not going to close out. Dave, I know David's got a roll, so I'm going to do Tari and Jabari in 1 sec. But because Amber's asking me this, and I want to show y'all, I'm going to bring up my handy dandy baby model, which I call player prop tool. And I'm just going to show y'all how you can get those numbers. When people say something's playable too, or what, I would play this up to minus 105 or blah, 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 whatever. This is what they're talking about. So let's take Amin real quick. And I'm trying to get through this quickly. Someone the other day was like, I feel like I'm in college when I'm on this show, and it's like, I don't know, college was fun. Like, I didn't hate college. I hated the studying part, but there's other parts that were fun. Prop. Let's take his PR. We're saying this is at 17.5. Let's do it this way. Let's take the book at either 17.5 at minus 150, or should we take 18.5 at minus 120? That's what the question we're going to answer right now, because there's a big difference between 17.5 minus 150 and 18.5 minus 120. It's shittier odds for a lower number. So the question is, which one do you take? That's always going to be the question. The books are going to make sure that is the question that you have to ask yourself is, do I want to take it at this number or that number? They're going to incite anxiety in you at every possible moment that they can. So if they know they're making a decision difficult for you, they know they're inducing anxiety, and they're happy with that. So keep that in mind. This is going to help reduce that anxiety, is just listen to math. Like, math can be your king. And if math is the guide, then you can't get mad at math. That's it, right? You can get mad at the players, but you can't get mad at math. Line 17.5. The under odds for the 17.5 is, we're saying the minus 150 line, right? So minus 150 plus 110 for the under, minus 150 to the over. So 110 to the under, minus 150 to the over. The minutes average, let's just pull this up on StatMuse. And this is where it's like, it's a little bit up to y'all. Like, it's the user needs to know what they're doing a little bit. And I'll explain why. But for StatMuse, his minutes average on the season, Amin Thompson this season, I'm just using StatMuse because it's the fastest one. If I'm just like, what's a quick thing I just need? It's StatMuse. So on the season, he's at 26.9 minutes, which is about what they're projecting for him tonight. So let's say it's 26.9 minutes. That's his minutes average on the season. And his prop average on the season for PR is 11.9 plus 7. This is 18.9, right? 18.9 per game. So he's scoring, or he's getting 0.7 points and rebounds per minute that he's on the floor. Great. What are we projecting him for tonight? 27. All right. So let's say it's like 27.3 or whatever they said it was minutes that they're projecting him for, right? Okay. So what I did here was basically just put in here what Amin's PR numbers are on the season and what the odds are as well, because I want to know at the price that the book is offering, is this worth it? That's what I'm asking. At the price, what's the price here is minus 150 for the over and plus 110 for the under. Those are the prices. The last part is, what is the implied probability? And the implied probability is just saying, what is the percentage chance that they think this happens? So with an under odds of plus 110, the book is saying that the under has a lower chance of occurring. And you can see that right here. I showed this to y'all the other day using the odds calculator. This is not the odds calculator. This is the odds calculator. Come on, odds calculator. So this is the odds calculator. If I look at the American odds and I say minus 150, well, let's do plus 110 for the under. The implied odd plus 110 is telling me that the implied odds that this occurs is 48% is what we're going to call it. So 48% is the implied odds for the under. The book over implied probability at minus 150 is going to be pretty high, right? There's a good chance at minus 150. There's a good chance that this hits. It's a 60% chance that this hits. So I'm going to put in 60% right here. And it tells me don't take either, because the edge is telling me that this is a good bet or not a good bet. If I have an edge that is at least 10% positive, then I know that I'm at least considering taking a bet. But if these numbers are anything lower than 10%, I'm out. I don't want to take it. This is not a good bet at the price that I'm being offered it. This is not saying that in a vacuum, 17.5 points or in rebounds, if you go over, is a bad bet. This is saying at the price that you're getting it, it's not worth it. So just keep that in mind. That's what it is. All right. So that was the answer to the question. Is it, which one should we take? This is telling us just in a vacuum, it should be neither. I actually think his projected minutes should be a little bit higher anyway. So I like this bet for Amin, but that's what that's how you answer the question, is you have to take the odds into consideration and all that other kind of shit. So, all right, let me try to get out of here on this. And David, I know you might have to dip, so feel free at any points. All good. And thank you so much again for the help today. I'm off pods since it came up, and I appreciate you bringing that up, David, because I want to reiterate, I think pods might be the odd man out, bro. I think his stuff is low for a reason. I think the rotations are going to mean that he is the odd man out. You're going to see a lot more Kuminga moving forward. You're going to see a lot more Buddy Hield moving forward, and B pods is going to be the dude that sort of takes a seat as a result of that stuff. So his stuff is really low for good reason. I know that on the season and over this course of his career so far, he's a lot better than 10.5 points and rebounds if he gets the minutes, but I'm not that confident in it. So, all right. Yeah. If you would go ahead and give that video a like if you haven't done it yet, much appreciated. It goes a long way. So I'm going to get a few more things out here after I just spit all that math at you for no reason, probably. But all right. We got Hart in, by the way. Thank you for throwing that in there, Daft. Hart is going to play. So, yeah. And then, yeah, if y'all want free sauce full card too, you can hit him up. But also he's in the free part of the Discord if you're interested in getting his and the other VIP cappers for them. So, all right. Let's see here. My bad. Are those picks not coming up? That's on me. David, are you still there real quick, bro? I think you are. I still see you in there. Can I ask you to do me a huge solid?
What's up?
Hey, bro, can I send you these? Or can you actually just go into Discord, take the picks from the VIP and throw them on the bottom line one where it says like show leans and all that?
Yep. Roger that.
Thank you. That's appreciate it, man. That's my fault. Thank you for pointing that out, Cody. I didn't put those on the bottom line. So those are going to be there. We got a question for you too, Free Sauce. What you think about Chef Curry tonight? Interested to hear that. Free Sauce been chefing too, man. It's crazy. Let's see. David was bringing up Amin again. 18.5 minus 15 either way on DK. Yeah, I don't love that as much. I think, just because I know what the market is saying for the other stuff for Amin, I like that a little better. But yeah, B pods, pass on that. I'm not going under because his stuff is so low, but I think 20 minutes is about what he's looking at. If he's capped at 20 minutes, what's he usually doing this season? I mean, he's played, which games did he even play? Like no minutes. Yeah. So he's mostly playing at least like 13, but there's been a number of games where everybody's healthy and even like without everybody healthy where he's just been sat. I think he's kind of the odd man out. So I'd be off of that stuff. As far as the difference between Jabari and Tari, there isn't much, man. There's not much of one that I can see. If you look at how they score, transition, spot up, free throws, that's for Tari Eason. If you look at Jabari, spot up, transition, free throws, it's just some order of the same type of play for these dudes. They play in the same spots on the floor. You can see this is Jabari scoring 40% of his points up top, 30% right at the rim. For Tari, 59% right at the rim and 15% up top. So maybe that's how we differentiate between the two of them, is that Tari Eason is going to be attacking the basket a lot more, and Jabari is going to be taking a few more spot ups. That's one thing to consider. And Tari is like, this is a good team to score. Well, actually, what is their opponent defense shot chart? Yeah, they're the number one defense down low right next to the rim, which is wild for them without a true center. But Draymond's still pretty much a beast, and it's good team defense. For Tari in this game, 11.5. I can't come up with a difference for them, y'all. I'll be honest with you. The last thing I'll look at real quick with you guys is Steph. And once again, I'll remind everybody, Buddy Hield, if he's in the starting lineup, I love 12.5 points. I would take 13.5 points, but I'd probably stop at 14.5. That's for Buddy Hield. For Chef Curry, damn, this is up now, isn't it? Everybody thinks Chef Curry is going to go off. I don't know what to expect with him. With this iteration of the Dubs, he hasn't played against this team yet. I always like him for 25 plus, but there's plenty of games this season where he's not getting that. He's going to get the Dylan Brooks treatment. I don't really think that matters. What did he do against this team last year? Again, doesn't really matter what he did last year. It's just such a different, doesn't matter what your name is. He didn't do this shit last year. So, all right, I'm going to roll. That was more than an hour. Once again, appreciate the likes. If you can go ahead and throw a like in there, goes a long way. We're going to have a slightly bigger slate tomorrow. Still only have 3 games, but I'm going to get it in there. Appreciate it, by the way. Fug Life. I love that. I'm going to be back tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. I'm going to have a Thursday night football video with projections for everybody. It's coming out tonight. Also going to get into the NBA slate for tomorrow, actually pretty soon, because we already got props out for the 3-gamer tomorrow. Then Friday, we have a big slate, which is wonderful. So I'm going to be going over that. I think I'm going to have either Prop Bomb and Pips, or one of them, or whatever. But we're going to be going through a lot on Friday with the first big slate we've had in what feels like forever. So excited to do that with y'all. Last reminder, if you do want to get into the VIP and you want a free month, go ahead and sign up for a REBET account. That it will get, if you use code LYB, that'll go ahead and get you a discount. It'll get you 100% deposit match. So if you deposit $100, they'll put an extra $100 in your account right away for you if you use code LYB. If you do that and you want a free month in the VIP Discord, go ahead and screenshot me proof that you signed up and deposited at least like $10. If you did that, I'll go ahead and give you a free month in the VIP Discord. Plenty to look at in there. So we are going to continue to roll, man. 30 point whatever units up on the season. Going to keep it going. I appreciate everybody in here for real. I'll be seeing y'all tomorrow. And until I do, happy betting.